Hey, it's another Jackson podcast with one of the best hosts, co-hosts, Bear DeGidio. And we got one of my favorite guests here, the guy who gave me my big break, the man of what's the best way to say it? KOTC or King of the Cage?
I like King of the Cage.
I like King
I actually like the way you say
Yeah,
King
say it
of the
again,
Cage.
King of the Cage.
Yeah.
King of the Cage.
One more time deeper.
That's what she said.
Oh, God, here we go.
Terry Trebilcock.
Terry, I just got to tell you something. This man's been hyping you up all week. He said you are the man. You put on one of the greatest events in the history of MMA, and he said because of you, that's why he's a superstar. That's why he gets all the chicks. That's why he has all the money, and it all started with you.
Well, it was kind of like that, but Quentin's always been a very kind man. Like you can see the image of the Rampage and the mean guy and stuff like that, but I know him as Quentin. For the nice guy that he is, for the very personable, the family guy. I've seen the sides of him that most people don't get to see. I think he's one of the greatest people I've ever met, personally.
You see, he called me by my first name because a lot of people, they don't get time to get to know Quentin. Everybody just know Rampage. A lot of people I meet, they don't really want to get to know me. They just see Rampage and I hang out with them and it's them talking. They cut me off and they don't take, but Terry took his time to get to know me and we become great friends over the years.
Rampage is a superstar. Quentin is a super person. That's the difference between the two. He really is.
Eminem. You went from the White Don King to Eminem. That's a bar.
When you deal with thousands of people in your life, in you find about 5 or 6 really good people, you feel like your world has become a better and bigger place, and Quentin's one of those 5 or 6 guys. You know what I mean?
I can attest to that.
He really is.
This guy is
and everybody that knows him knows it.
Yeah, all joking aside, Quentin, regardless of the nicknames like, Mini or Soft Serve, Quentin is one of the best guys I've ever met. He's always been there for me, always been there for the people around him, and he always gives without expecting, and that's why he's one of a kind.
Well, the only reason why y'all can say that because y'all been cool to me. I don't treat everybody like that. Some people I keep them,
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. You only have so much time. You got to put it to the people that, that have been good to you, or the people that, see you as are appreciative. How many people do you do stuff for that just don't appreciate anything? And you look and go, man, I could have wasted that on somebody else that was much more appreciative than you. Yeah. But in the end, when you want to talk about the way Quentin got started, he's given me credit, but he actually really, really had to earn it. I mean, his first fight coming in, he was training at Fabiano Eat School in Huntington Beach. You go way back. They had Tiki, they had Fabiano, they had Tito, everybody there. And Fabiano comes to me and goes, I need to get a fight for this guy. He's, he just came in from Memphis and he's a great character. I'm like, well, how much does he weigh? He says 205 pounds. I said, well, I'm thinking, I got a guy at 205 pounds that was an Olympic alternate as a wrestler, world-class kickboxer. Yeah, I got to fight for him. So I threw him in against one of the toughest guys that I could possibly throw him in. And the plan was, I was developing the career of the other guy. Okay, that was the plan. I'm going to tell him right there. The plan was. Now, what he did was unbelievable. In the first round, he got lit up a little bit, and he got tired. He could barely stand in between the first and the second round because he took the fight on 3 days' notice. The other guy had a full camp. And I thought, wow, this is perfect for promoting this guy. But little did I know by the end of it, the whole thing would change. So as we're going through this fight, we come down to about the end of the second round, and all of a sudden, Quentin lands a huge punch and has got Marvin Eastman in all kinds of trouble. And if there was any more time left in the fight, he'd have knocked him out. End of the fight, we've never interviewed the loser of the fight. Steven Quadros came up and interviewed Quentin, and Quentin said, dude was a better man than me tonight. I wanted experience, and that's what I got tonight. I got experience. He said he kicked me in the head, and I actually liked it. I said, there's a superstar in the making. That's word for word what you said. I can remember it like it was yesterday.
How do you remember that?
Because it was important to me. You were that special right off the get-go. Wow. So when I saw that, I was like, you know what? He says he's a little short on MMA clothes. Let's go to the rage table. I got him anything this guy wants, get him all the rage stuff. And from there, Quentin became the guy that I was pushing, no longer Marvin Eastman. I gave Marvin Eastman one more fight because I had one more fight left on the contract, and our move was to move towards Quentin Jackson.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Because he was on a 3-day notice. You can teach fighting skills, you can teach conditioning, but you can't teach the heart that this guy had. And I've never seen anybody like it ever in the sport. So that was a turning day. It was King of the Cage 4. It was called King of the Cage Gladiators. It was Dwayne Ludwig fought on that card as well. Mm-hmm. And I can even remember the box. The box was red for the VHS. We were still doing VHS tapes back then.
Man, you know what you did when you gave me those clothes when I came back. You remember what you
Yes,
did?
yes.
You know the guy who got me started in MMA.
Yes.
He started like treating me different after that. He was right there. He was like, "What about me? I won my fight."
That's right.
You remember that?
That's right.
I was like, and I looked at him, and bro, I felt bad. And this is the true story why people always say, "Oh, Rampage, you so humble, you so this, you don't care about the fame," because to be 100% honest, I always felt guilty because my friend that started me to fight, we started, well, he started before me, but he brought me in. Our goal was for us both to make it, and he didn't make it.
You were so loyal to him. It was unbelievable. I could see that endless loyalty, even with him being a little bit jealous. Even when I brought him up to fight Akira Shoji up in Reno, it was just a certain amount of jealousy. And I don't know if it was like a bad kind of jealousy, but it was like, I brought this guy in, he's going to be a superstar, you know? Not every calling that you get is the right one. Sometimes you got to try several of them. Yours was MMA.